Hi, I'm Melinda Gordon, and I can see your dad.
And welcome back to another episode of Crips and Corks. I'm your host, DJ, and like Sarah Ferguson, sometimes I have been called the Duchess of Pork, along with my co-host,
Paul, the secret Taco Bell menu item that gave Cole Sprouse scoliosis. As usual.
That was really out of left field.
Thank you. I do my best to be out of left field. You know, keep it tight. Keep it interesting. Keep it, new.
I've got pressed powder in my nose. It tickles.
Better be careful, you'll get that clown lung.
What?
Do you know what clown lung is?
No!
So, drag queens often get clown lung too. It's when you use makeup powders, right? And then you inhale it, gets in your lungs, and gets you a disease they call clown lung. It messes with your lungs.
Oh.
Yeah, because like drag queens too, they put a ton of like face powder and whatnot on their faces as well. Which, been there, done that.
I'm more concerned about inhaling all that setting spray and hairspray.
Makes sense.
Do you think hairdressers, from using all that hairspray, do you think that affects their lungs?
No, I don't feel like hairspray really affects lungs as it does like the ozone. Well, maybe if it affects the ozone layer, maybe it does affect your lungs. Who knows? That's
interesting.
Someone needs to look on that. If you're a scientist and you're watching this, why are you watching this, first of all? But also, look into that.
This is an investigative research podcast.
We are an investigative research podcast, and we take our things very seriously. This is the very serious Crips and Corks podcast. Crips and Corks serious version, if you will.
CCN.
Crips
and Corks News, rather than whatever CNN stands for.
Period. And you know what? Copyrighted and trademarked. So you whores better not try it. Anyway.
How was your week, Paul?
My week, it's been good. It's been fine. I've started my workout journey again, as I do, like once a year, and then eventually in a couple months I'll stop.
Once a year? You mean like once a month?
No, like once a year I really take it seriously, and I take it seriously for like a couple months, and then I kind of fall off. So we started that again, and now I'm like facing, I'm sore because of that, and these ab workouts are hard, and it makes me feel better, and blah blah blah, and eating healthy, and your body feels better, and blah blah blah, but it's just like, why do the best things in life have to be such high calorie and such bad for you? It's like, yes, we're getting our life together, but at the same time, sometimes you just miss the rot.
I get that.
So that's what I've been doing this week. How about you?
Going into our last week, no fast food. Feel great.
Yeah, I think we've actually discussed, you've said that you might not eat fast food as much going forward.
Yeah, it's going to be something like where it's like I kind of think of it as I've given it up to continue to like not get it every time we record.
Right. And it's really not as easy as people think it is, because like when it's so part of your routine, like when you're hanging with friends and stuff, it's like the easiest go-to is fast food, and it's cheap and everything, especially with prices rising and everything. It's like the cheapest, easiest option. So it really means like a lifestyle change and going out of your way to do things and like all sorts of like things you might not think it means, especially for like guys who like us, like, yeah, you have your grandparents who cook for you, but we still like have to cook sometimes and like have to do our own thing.
The problem is I have old folks at home who just like comfort food.
Exactly, which I completely get. When I'm that, trust and believe, when I am grandparent age, it's all out the window. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be eating whatever. I'm gonna be drinking whatever. I'm gonna do whatever.
Eat the chocolate cake. Have a beer.
Exactly. I'm already close to death. What's another what? I have to be 2 months old for longer? Okay, that's really morbid. I take that back. That's pretty morbid. But at the same time, I'm going to live my life to the fullest is the point. Not once I'm that age. I should be doing that now as well, living my life to the fullest and everything. It's all very complicated. Maybe we'll talk about that on Twinks and Drinks.
Let's drink.
Okay. Sorry, I was getting too deep. I do apologize. Yeah. This is a comedic podcast, so let's get into our wine.
Oh.
No worries, thank you. So this week, and I think we've had this on the podcast before. Don't remember what episode because there's 100+ of them now. This week, we are drinking Phantom. It's a proprietary red. And now, Phantom Proprietary Red. Numerous sightings have intrigued us over the years, with visitors of muddy work boots and blue jeans lurking in the cellar. Many are convinced the Phantom truly exists, while others remain skeptical. Do you believe? Well, let's see if we believe in this wine still. Let's give her a good old open. It kind of sounds like a dentist office now that I think about it.
No, it's not as high-pitched.
Like the dentist.
It's still very vibrator. I even got it on the cork. You're
there
top.
We are. We got it in, guys. Don't worry.
You're top. You're supposed to fit things in small holes with no problem. Just keep pressing. What are you doing?
It's not working!
Have you charged it?
Oh, the battery died! Oh no. How far did we get it out? Can we pull it out at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, if you think you can pull it out, pull it out. Please.
Please. It's not the battery.
I wonder why it didn't, like, do its normal thing.
You did it too close to the side.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Technical difficulties. I have, like, a regular wine opener.
I wish we had a camera that could follow me.
I don't need people seeing the inside of my home, okay? The inside of my house is a secret. Kind of like the Vatican or the pyramids' tombs that we haven't discovered yet. It's a secret that only a blessed few can know about, okay? Or kind of like, I can't really think of anything else to compare it to, but just know the inside of my home is a secret. And if you've seen the inside of my home, you are one of the blessed individuals. Okay, and DJ's coming back. Okay. It's open.
Why is your counter wet?
Listen, there's a lot of wet things in my apartment. Okay, we just get used to it. Okay, just start pouring shit. Okay, that's enough. That's good. Thank you.
I thought about just like staring in the eyes and keep pouring into my own glass. But then I was like, oh, if I pour it, then I have to drink it.
Tea.
Cheers.
Oh. Maybe she should have stayed closed. That's wine, and that's wine that's happening to us. That's bad. That's a really, really bad wine, and I see why it did not stick in my head, which it probably should have, because
it stuck in my head because I knew we didn't like it.
That's a real, real bad wine. Oh no, yeah. I'm sure it's for someone, but for me, it's a 0 grapes. But I had to for this week's episode get the Phantom wine. I'm sorry. How many grapes are you giving it? Which I probably know.
In the sake of being kind, I decline to comment.
Yeah,
That's bad.
We're just so we don't.
I'm glad I didn't pour more of it.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm even gonna finish that.
Yeah, just so we don't get canceled, we're gonna move forward from that because, wow,
light doesn't even penetrate it. Like it's just black.
It's been a while since I've had a wine like that, and
it's more vinegar than wine.
It's something. Something has not gone right with this wine, and yeah. sometimes I guess doing things for the sake of the bit isn't really the tea. So, yeah, we're just gonna lean with it, rock with it, and move right
berries and
along.
black pepper with toasty oak and vanilla notes.
Black pepper?
I didn't get any of that in there. It tastes like that cigarette wine.
Yeah, that's cigarette wine. That's really, really... I'm sure the people who made this wine are very nice people, and they had good intentions in their heart, and that's what I'll leave it at.
Sure.
Well, DJ, are you ready
Please.
for a story?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Last week, we dove into the life and childhood of the real ghost whisperer, Mary Ann Winkowski. Today, we will talk about her claims, her paranormal beliefs, and what she says happened after we die. So we can decide for ourselves. Is the real ghost whisperer as real as she claims to be? Or is she just another charlatan that charmed the nation?
Interesting.
Yes, so we're diving deep this week. Okay, this might be one of our controversial episodes. And Mary Ann, I'm not sure how she's going to feel about this episode, but hey.
Do we have non-controversial episodes?
Okay, that's a good point too. Yeah, that's a good point too. But yeah, also I will also say, like, slight trigger warning too. This episode we're getting deep. We're talking about life after death. We're talking about very sad topics. So if you need like to be in a bright like headspace at this moment in time, maybe don't. And maybe pause, go about your day and come back later when you're ready to like have deep contemplative thoughts about sad things. Any comments? How are you feeling going into this episode? Or are you just ready for it? Like
I'm
Taylor?
just ready for it.
Are you ready for it? No. Like the song, Taylor?
No.
Ready for it? No.
No.
All right. Well, I
think I'd rather talk about goat trains.
Oh, I love a train. I've been on a few trains recently. Not like real trains, but I think y'all know what kind of trains we'd be doing out here in the
With whom? With whom?
Larry, Chuck, and Moe.
Larry, Chuck, and
Is that the Three Stooges? Is that their name?
Larry, Curly, and Moe.
I only missed one name. Okay, I was close. I only missed one name. We'll get them next time.
Okay.
So I think to do this, we need to lay out everything. We're going to lay out everything about her beliefs, about everything. We're going to get right into it. So first off, she calls ghosts earth-bound spirits. Mm-hmm. These are spirits that are still in this realm and haven't passed into the white light yet. Okay. She says that these spirits can be stuck on Earth for any number of reasons, like being attached to a house or object, unfinished business, wanting to watch over the people they love to make sure they are okay, or even that they are scared to go into the light. See, some ghosts may have done bad things in life or something that was against their religion that makes them scared to go into the light because they think hell or judgment awaits them on the other side. Now, Mary isn't exactly sure what happens to ghosts as they go into the light and pass to the other side. She says she cannot even see spirits who have passed into the light. But there are mediums who can see these spirits who pass into the light. But even though she doesn't know what happens to ghosts on the other side of the light, she said she knows it's where they belong. Trust. Heart. That's the heart from Mary Ann, asking you to trust her that you just need to go in the light and you need to do the thing.
Just go there.
Exactly.
It won't hurt, I don't think.
Exactly.
But who knows?
See, that's the thing. She doesn't even fully, truly know either what happens when you go into the light. That's just where she's been directing spirits to go since she's been doing this. I mean, last week we talked about her doing it at the age of 7, when she first started directing the spirits to pass over and go into the light.
Could you imagine if she just perceived the light as heaven, and it's actually the pit to hell, and actually to go to heaven you got to rise up, and she's just been telling these souls, yeah, go to hell.
Yeah. That would be really unfortunate. Be really unfortunate.
I don't know what's there. Just go.
You have to do it. Just drink.
It's okay, little girl.
She hears their screams as they're burning on the other side. Could be anything.
Wow. Heaven must be beautiful. Listen to those exclamations.
They're screams of joy, I promise.
I hear the trumpets of heaven.
Now, I will say, it is important to note these things, that she does view things under a very heavy Catholic point of view, because Italians are very Catholic people. She was raised Catholic. She believes in the Catholic Church and everything, so a lot of this is under that Catholic Christian point of view, right? But I guess the point of that is she says you have to go into the light. It's where she believes spirits belong. And the light is like basically crossing to the other side to be with all the other spirits who have crossed over. Now, the white light appears to everyone after they die, and it sticks around for a little while, but eventually fades away after the spirit has been earthbound for too long. But fear not, friends! Mary says, if you end up being earthbound for too long, you can go to a funeral home or anywhere else there might be a departed person and go through their light. So it's fine. So I guess it's kind of like touching tips with your bro in that way.
Hey, you smell nice. I've been here for a long time. You mind if I join you in the light? You smell real nice.
Now, I will say, when the ghosts go into the light, like, if a ghost were to go into another light that wasn't, like, if a ghost were to go into another light that wasn't brought up when they passed away, that ghost that, I guess, was attached to the light when they passed, they don't have to go through that light. And that white light all comes from one source. I'm trying to explain this in a way that makes kind of sense. Like, let's pretend the white light comes from one source, which is the other side, right? It's the same light. It just pops up for different people, if that makes sense.
Is it can only one person go through it at a time?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how big the light is, but I think Mary Ann can actually make the light bigger if she tries. I honestly...
The funeral kid who stares.
That's so Raven. It's the light she can see. That's so Raven. Okay. Anything else to add to that before we keep going?
No.
So, Mary Ann can create the light and says anyone can and should learn to create the white light. She says it's as simple as visualizing the white light in the room or around the things you want to protect. And if you have trouble visualizing it, she says to stare at the hottest part of a candle and then look at the wall until you can visualize the bright light on the wall. Or until your corneas have burnt the fuck out.
I see the light. The light. The light.
But does the light see you? Is the real question.
The Shadow Man, oh my god. Okay, I tried to tell you about the Shadow Man like 2 weeks ago and I couldn't remember his name. The light. It's a meme. I'll show you after.
Okay. So, the white light isn't the only thing we can use for protection, though. She says you can sprinkle sea salt on an object to cleanse it, smudge a house with a smudge stick like sage or like any
That
other.
sounds like appropriation.
Or, to keep negative energy out of the house, put quince seeds above every doorway and window. Now, quince is a fruit, and actually the tea is used to help cure sore throats. But again, if you put the seeds above your doorway or above your windows, it's supposed to keep out negative energy, according to Mary. So these are things you can use to protect yourself against negativity, negative spirits. You go antique shopping, you think something's haunted, sprinkle some sea salt on there, and it'll probably help protect you. Maybe a little bit, maybe not. Who knows? That's just Mary Ann's beliefs. Again, all of these are Mary Ann's beliefs. Do I believe all of them? Maybe, and I'll comment on the ones that I do and don't believe as the episode continues.
I think Mary Ann just has stock in quince seeds.
Oh, She makes...
Every time you buy a packet of quince seeds, she earns a nickel.
And that's what big quince seeds don't want you to know. Wake up, sheeple!
We haven't had a wake up sheeple moment in a while.
Oh my gosh. But what are we protecting ourselves from? Can these earthbound ghosts actually hurt us? Well, according to Mary, they cannot directly hurt us, but they can do things that can cause us harm indirectly, like putting an object at the top of a staircase, messing with electrical things that can cause fires, and even affect our moods. Also, for some reason, she says that ghosts can cause respiratory problems, mainly in children. I'm not sure where that comes from, but like, if you think you have asthma, maybe you have a ghost.
Let me squeeze your lungs, little boy. Let me squeeze your lungs.
Honestly, that's one of like her most interesting claims, because like she says that the ghosts can cause respiratory problems, but like how and why?
The ghosts cause asthma. And the demons that are in the vaccines. Don't get your kids vaccinated. The demons are in the vaccines. And the ghosts are causing the asthma. That's what it's giving.
Do you think Mary Ann's an anti-vaxxer?
That's what it's giving.
It is giving that. Your kid doesn't have asthma. You have a ghost. Don't give him the inhaler. It's in.
Don't take the Tylenol. Your kid will develop the autism.
Inhalers are a trick by big asthma. Don't fall for it.
The inhalers, they have... It actually squeezes. It helps squeeze the ghost squeeze of the lungs.
No, for real. I mean, these are Mary Ann's beliefs, and I'm just presenting them. And yeah.
Look into the solar eclipse. It will help your corneas, I swear.
But I will say, I do believe ghosts can move things, and if a ghost does have negative intent, maybe they could move, like, your kid's toy to the top of a staircase and cause you to fall down and give you harm and things.
No, I think that they could manipulate objects. And do I think that they could squeeze your lungs, or if they reside in vaccines? Or inhalers, for that matter? No.
For legal reasons, I didn't say anything about vaccines. Mary Ann has said nothing publicly about vaccines, and she may not be an anti-vaxxer.
Mary Ann, please comment below. How do you feel about vaccines?
But to do these things, ghosts need energy. Not like electrical energy, which is why most people think when ghosts are around, electrical equipment acts up. It's metaphysical energy. Like emotional energy. For instance, when you put up a lot more energy when you're angry, you're using a lot more energy when you have like anger and you're super excited. Those type of emotions.
That's
or
why
when you're
ghosts
scared.
like to be around Paul. He's a very angry person deep down.
I am a very angry person, and it comes from my German heritage, and I do apologize. But it does make sense. Like, you aren't giving off as much energy, like, when you're chill and you're just hanging out. You are using more energy and possibly putting off more energy when you are angry, when you're more emotional, when you're even excited, like, or when you're scared even, which might be why ghosts try to scare you and they get more energy when they scare you, right? You're putting off more energy.
I think the ghosts are just going to all the houses where the parents surprise their kids with trips to Disneyworld. It's like, oh my god, this is great! Oh yes, I love feeding on our little children, yes! Get so excited about the mouse! Just don't pop a boner, then this is gonna be kind of awkward for all of us.
Okay. I will say, ghosts, I'm not surprised, like, ghosts do attach themselves to kids, because kids are more energetic. And Mary Ann does believe that children can see ghosts more, like, than we do as adults. Like, children, like, have more gifts and can see spirits easier than we do as adults. So it's not as surprising that children have more spirits around them, attached to them, spirits are more attracted to them, things like that.
Children, are just ghost batteries.
And that's why you shouldn't have them. You want your house to be fucking haunted?
Now, I have a very important question.
Okay.
Has Mary Ann ever met Lorraine Warren?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Could you imagine the two of them in a room together?
Actually,
I've investigated some of the worst demonic experiences. I own Annabelle, and she eats all my rice pudding. The ghosts just tell me where to put the marinara sauce.
they are two very different things for sure, but now that you say it, I do think it would be very interesting to see the two of them in a room together.
I think
and
it'd be
see,
so entertaining.
Yeah, even put Teresa Caputo in a room with Lorraine Warren just to see how they would interact and see, like, what would happen.
Wait,
what would they all see?
This won't work because most of these people are dead, or half of these people are dead, but we need to get a room where we have Lorraine Warren, Sylvia Brown, Teresa Caputo, and Mary Ann, whatever her last name is.
Winkowski.
And do you remember we talked about in Amityville where it's basically you put more than one psychic in a room and it just becomes a battle?
Oh, yeah, we did that at the live show, which go watch our Amityville live show.
I sense a dark presence here. Well, I sense an evil presence. It's the monarch!
Well, I said your mother! That was the joke,
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So, the main source Ghost gets this metaphysical energy is from living people. They cannot get it from other ghosts. They can also get energy from natural things, though, like full moons. So ghosts are more active on full moons and everything because the full moons put off more energy and everything.
Stop! I just need to take the moon. I'm moonbathing.
Well, yeah, you joke, but, like, I do think the moon does put off energy. And, like, I used to be one of those, like, hippy-dippy people who would put crystals out in the moonlight to charge them and things. And, if you look at it this way, too, like, the moon controls the tides, right?
I can get charging crystals, but, like, where I drew the line was moon water.
Moon water, yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, if you think about it in the sense that the moon controls the tides, we're 75% water.
I know, but no, like, there was a girl I knew in college where she'd put, like, an open mason jar full of water outside during a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Open mason jar outside. And then the next day she'd just, like, chug it. And it's like, girl, yeah, the full moon was in that, but you don't know what raccoons wash their hands in there.
You know, I would say something, but I used to drink creek water as a kid, so...
I smelt that about you.
You can still smell the creek water to this day.
I thought it was the crone of the Catskills all this time, but this makes more sense.
So, other interesting things about earthbound spirits are they cannot walk through you, and you can't walk through them either. Mary says she sees ghosts move out of the way all the time when people are about to walk through them or sit on them, which I don't fully believe with. I think you can walk through a spirit and things like.
If the spirit's not paying attention.
Yeah. Now, I could see it in the sense that, like, if you're a spirit and you're sitting somewhere and you don't want someone to sit on you, something left over from your, like, physical form, like, I could see that sense, but I do think we could walk through a spirit and everything.
And then there's that one pervy ghost who's like, yes, sit on me, sit on me, sit on me.
It's that ghost in the shower with Jennifer Love Hewitt. He just keeps walking through her.
Well, making that noise.
Oh, God. Also, she says cold spots are not an indication of a ghost, and that is an old wives' tale. And for those dumb fucks out there using EMF detectors, Mary Ann says those don't work, and she doesn't even know what they measure. So fact check yourself. Don't be an illiterate fuck.
Okay, Mary Ann, we're having a lot of hot takes here.
She is having a lot of takes. Now, I believe the opposite of this, and I do think EMF detectors do work, and I don't know about the cold spots. Maybe the cold spots aren't a thing. Who knows?
I think it could be either or.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I will disagree with Mary Ann. I do think... And if you read the book, you can read When Ghosts Speak, and she does say in that book that she does not know how the EMF detectors work or what they measure. But I will also give her the caveat that this was written in like 2007 or something, so maybe she just didn't have the information at the time.
What are all these lights? What does EMF stand for? Why does it look like my clicker? Can I change the channel? I don't like the Western movies. I keep clicking it and the lights light up, but the channel won't change.
Honestly, I could see that being a thing. I don't get this newfangled ghost technology. I could see that being a thing for sure. Now, two last interesting thing about earthbound spirits is they can travel anywhere they want. She says ghosts describe it as you think about a place and then you are there, like teleportation. Also, ghosts know they are dead. The thing about ghosts not knowing they're dead is a myth, according to Mary. Which she describes that as like, when you die, you look down at your body, right? So you separate from your body, your ghost separates from your body. And how do you like look at your dead body and not know you're dead? She says all the ghosts she's met know they're dead. Now, let's move away from the negative for a bit and talk about something nice. Babies and puppies! Yay!
I feel like there's a butt in there somewhere.
No, well, actually a little bit, but we'll get there. So Mary Ann says when a baby dies, that there is someone there to take care of them and help them go into the light. Usually a departed family member. Even if you don't have a family member that's recently departed, we all have plenty of ancestors and distant family and even friends. It could even be the baby's guardian angel that helps the baby pass into the light. Now, Mary isn't exactly sure which of these is the case because she can't see people who have gone into the light. And all the departed infants she has seen have been floating as if they were being held by someone she can't see. And I think it's like kind of a beautiful thought, like people who worry about like their little ones departing, going into the other side and stuff. There's something someone
Waiting there.
Yeah, someone there to help them and everything, which I think is the case for everyone. I think everyone has someone there waiting for them to help them go into the light and everything. But yeah, and the story she told about the first time she saw a child like departed to the other side was a car crash scene she went to, and it was a dad and the kids that departed, and she saw the dad holding the two toddlers, and then the baby was just kind of floating there, which low-key, it is kind of funny just to picture the baby floating there, but
It's a floating baby.
ooh. Now, will I say I did cry when I first read that chapter because the husband was like, I have to go with my wife, because the wife was still alive and everything, so it was like kind of sad thinking about like the tragedy of like this lady losing literally everyone.
Our whole family.
But if we look at the positive, it is kind of a comforting thought that like not only children, but like everyone has like someone waiting for them to help them cross into the other side. Even if you think you don't have like, you don't know anyone, there's going to be someone there, even if it is your guardian angel, which is still a very Catholic belief or like Christian belief or whatever, but like whatever great spirit or whatever helpful spirit is there to help you get to the other side. So that is kind of a comforting thought, I think.
Agreed.
Agreed. Period. Now, as for the puppies and other animals, she says they have the same spirits we do and instinctively know to go into the light after they pass. Some do stick around due to different reasons, such as loyalty to their owners or unfinished business they think they might have. But for the most part, wild and domestic animals do go into the light as well. And I think that's why forests may not be as haunted with animals, because I think the things that tie domesticated animals here more
aren't as prevalent for
the wild animals, right? Because wild animals don't really have many connections. Maybe like, let's say like it's a cub to its mom or something like that. Something sad like that. Like I could see that for sure. But I think that's why I like when people say, oh, why don't we see spirits of animals all throughout the forest and stuff? I think that's why they don't have as many ties to this earth as we do. And they instinctively know when they go into the light. And there are people who say, like, animals do instinctively know when they are going to die and prepare themselves for it. So it's more instinctual for them. And when you think about it too, like, we as humans are more separate from our, like, naturalist, like, animalistic instincts, right? So we don't have as much of that natural inclination to go into the light as wilder animals do. And it is also, like, kind of comforting to, like, think about. Maybe your, like, pet dog might stick around for a little bit or whatever, but it's also kind of comforting to know, like, they're going into the light as well at some point as well. So I don't know. However you want to look at that.
Interesting.
Very interesting. But enough sappy shit. Back to the dark stuff. Let's talk a bit about evil and negative spirits. Mary Ann says negative spirits do exist, but they are not of the light, and she does not think these spirits were ever human. They are something darker. These spirits can be summoned by Ouija boards, the dark magics in Satanism. Again, you know, she's Catholic, so that's like kind of her reference point there.
Don't do the yoga. The yoga will summon demons. They say downward dog. Do you know what happens when you point downward?
The downward dog is the gate for the devil to enter your body. Those yoga mats are for the Satan.
The sun salute. The sun is an inanimate object. You should be saluting God.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was her actual outlook on yoga and things. But you know, we could be wrong. She could, like, have very different thoughts. That's just speculation.
Don't play board games either. 1 minute you're playing sorry, and then the next minute Beelzebub himself is there to take your soul to hell.
Right. Now, she also says these spirits can possess your body if you invite them in. Ooh, so don't invite anything in.
I invited one in once and it got inside and it fled in terror. It said that it had never been in a place so scary, and that's saying something because it came from the pits of hell, and I tried not to be insulted by that.
And did it wake you up inside? Were you awoken?
I don't...
She says she can banish these spirits and they will usually leave. And don't worry, I think you can use some of the aforementioned practices to banish them yourselves. But the best way to avoid a dark spirit is not to dabble in the dark arts. Ooh.
Don't do the yoga.
I think I had some yoga this morning, blueberry flavored.
No, the darker the berry, the darker the magic. At least it wasn't blackberry.
Racist. Clocked. And why's it gotta be black?
Because a blackberry is darker than a blueberry.
Now, there's actually an interesting podcast episode called Demon in the House, where Mary discusses seeing the devil. See, she saw a half-man, half-goat creature in a very haunted house. Now, I will caveat this episode because later she does say she can also see the Fae, and what's included in the Fae is also, like, centaurs and fawns and things like that, which I think it's very interesting that she does acknowledge the Fae and acknowledge that she can see the Fae and everything. I thought that was very interesting.
Don't do Ouija boards, but just know that Tinkerbell is real. That's why all of my pajama shirts have either her or Minnie Mouse on them. I get them at the Walmart clearance section.
That's a good one, bitch. You got me there. There's also a very interesting podcast episode where she's talking about a woman who is having an affair with a ghost, and she stops having sex with her husband because she prefers having sex with the ghost instead. And her husband's about to leave her because she won't continue intimate relations with her husband because of this ghost.
It's just bad practices because a ghost can't give you a baby, and how are you going to be fruitful and multiply?
Which is interesting, too.
We need more Catholics, and the only way we can get them is if we have Catholic babies.
Okay, she probably does believe that. But if she acknowledges that you can have sex with ghosts, why can't a ghost harm you? If they can touch you in that sense, why can't they touch you in the other sense?
They can only touch you with their ghost genitalia.
Okay, so maybe there's only certain spots ghosts can touch you. I don't know. I mean, that's for you to address down below, Mary.
Does anyone smell tilapia? Oh shit, it's Rosemary back from the grave!
Anyway. Now, all of this is just a brief overview of Mary Ann's claims and beliefs about the paranormal. But, interestingly enough, another one of her well-known teachings isn't really paranormal at all. It's about the law of abundance. According to Mary Ann, the law of abundance states that by willing yourself abundance, it allows abundance to come to you. It's very much the law of attraction, or The Secret. If you've heard of the book The Secret, or you've read it, it's basically, if you live in the sense that you're rich, the riches will just come and flow to you. What you put out into the world comes back to you.
And have you read The Secret?
Listen, I have read that book multiple times and seen the movie multiple times, and early Paul in his 20s was very much convinced, but that's a story for another time. So you've read
The Secret multiple times? Is that what you're saying?
I have read The Secret multiple times, yes. And DJ, I lived in a spiritual fucking community. What do you expect? I was doing the thing.
We can have this conversation off camera.
I'm not saying... Okay.
I'm not saying... I didn't say anything. I was just asking.
Now, Mary Ann even has a nice little trick on her website where you can write a fake check to yourself to attract abundance. So go check that out, and who knows, maybe you'll be able to make yourself rich.
I'm gonna try that. Do I have to fill out how much I want, or is it a blank?
No! Don't fill out as much as you want, okay? Mary Ann specifically says on her website, do not put a dollar amount on that fake check because that limits yourself, okay? There are very specific instructions on Mary Ann Winkowski's website.
You should have told me, you should have just said, bitch, bring your checkbook today. And that would have made a great TikTok.
You don't even write like a check. You get a piece of paper and you draw a check. And you write.
You got paper. You got paper. I think this needs to be a TikTok. You got paper.
Maybe we will make a TikTok of it. But, yep. So Mary Ann is out there trying to help you get rich too, you know? The secret, law of abundance, you know? I mean...
Mary Ann, I was ready to write a check to myself.
Honestly, anyone who's dabbled in like the spiritual realm or metaphysical shit or spirituality or whatever knows about The Secret, and this is just The Secret. Like, girl, if you don't know about The Secret at this point and you've been dabbling, like, we'll probably do an episode on it at some point, who knows. So, with all this being said, we must ask ourselves, is Homegirl with her salt? Is what she's saying real? Now, I really did my damnedest to find stories of her being fake or negative reviews of people who got readings from her, if you consider them readings, saying she was fake or a fraud or whatever. But literally, even on Reddit, I could not find specific stories of people discounting her. If she has this shit on lock. I really did. I Googled everything I could fucking think of. Mary Ann fraud, Mary Ann fake, negative reviews. I Googled and tried to look up everything I could. And she really has this shit on lock. Because, like, the most negative thing I could find was on Reddit where someone said, oh, it's an old medium's trick, an old psychic's trick, where they tell you generic things, right? And, like, say things just generic enough. Or they do research beforehand of places they're going and say, oh, I'm seeing it on the other side, but it's just things they've researched, right? And, you know, I only have so much time in a day to do my research, so if you find something different, please comment down below, because I really did do my damnedest to find negative reviews or just things to discount her in that sense. I will also say, I also tried to see if I could fact check her work with the police, because she does claim that she's done work with the police and like helped them like find people, bodies, figure out if people are dead and things. And I went to real like law enforcement websites to try and fact check it, but I couldn't find anything about her on law enforcement sites. Now, it could be that thing where when she's working on the police, they keep it down low to keep their credibility and things, or maybe it's for privacy or something. But I couldn't find anything on any like law enforcement. I couldn't find police reports or anything like that. And again, if you find a police report or something, fact check me down below. And I tried to fact check things in her book. There was a one specific story in her book about a boy in West Virginia, I think it was, that had killed his mother and came to haunt this girl she was like going to read for and whatever. He was haunting her. And I tried to like find this boy who had killed his mom in West Virginia, right? But I couldn't find anything about that online either. Which, killing your mom, that would have been a really big story.
Yeah, huge.
I think what Mary Ann uses to her power is the anonymity of these stories she claims, because she says, oh, I met with this couple, or I met with John from Indiana or whatever, and she can use it as, I'm keeping these people's privacy, but it allows her to keep things vague enough where you can't fact check her, is what I'm getting at. So, like, as much as I've tried to, like, fact check shit, like, I couldn't find much information. Like, even negative reviews, like, where are the negative reviews? And I challenge you, like, fact check me. Yeah, go out there and find them. Fact check me, too. Because I really did my damnedest to find, like, shit against her. And do you have anything to add before I keep going on this, like, rant? Like, and I know that little rant made me seem like a full 100% believer and stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm like really not that much a believer of what she's doing, right? All these claims and everything, like, I mean, a lot of her claims do come from like the Catholicism and her own experienced beliefs about things and everything, and things she was raised to believe and whatnot about life and death and everything. And I mean, for all I know, the things she's seeing and everything, it could be like schizophrenia maybe, or some sort of like mental illness. But also, the mental illnesses do come with other symptoms that she does not seem to be exhibiting either. So it's this two-edged sword of like, what is actually going on here? Like, yeah, like, there's probably like negative reviews like she put in her book of people who said like, she wouldn't see me, or she says, I didn't have any ghosts or whatever, but she fully addressed that in her book, and that probably makes her more worth her salt. Now, I do want to go back to the Jennifer Love Hewitt thing too, right? Where she said she went and what she used to convince Jennifer Love Hewitt when she went to her home and said, there's a dead fan stalking you, and the previous owner of your house is stalking you. Having a dead fan stalking you is not a far jump, right? That's something you could very easily say. And, like, you have the address of her house, you know where you're going, right? It probably took a quick Google search, or maybe even, like, maybe back in the day they didn't have Google or whatever. Maybe just a quick research into the archives.
Real estate records.
Exactly, real estate records, which is something she could have looked up beforehand and verified. And that's something that she could do to probably any one of our clients, especially today in the digital age where we all have so much information about ourselves out there. Like, I considered getting a reading from Mary Ann to see like what went down, but so much of myself is on the internet. it would take her 2 clicks to be like, oh, your dead grandmother is with you, or like, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's just so much out there that makes this so hard to fact check and so hard to believe, but also at the same time, it kind of gives it like it's salt a little bit too, in a way. It's this crazy thing. What do you think?
I can't really judge if she's like for rizzles or not, unless like I had a reading and then like.
But even then, you can't trust that, like I said.
But I mean, there are certain things that there are certain things that she can say. I mean, there's a lot that she could find out through my social media about me, but there are certain things that she could potentially say to me that's from a deceased family member. Like once I had a psychic, I was talking to them, and they were able, and this was years after I moved out of this house, but they were able to describe my childhood living room to me.
See, that's crazy. And that's shit I would believe in, especially if you just met this lady on
And
the street without a
and it was
before
that. So
booking.
I randomly chose to go into like a metaphysical shop, and I was just like checking out, like I bought like some candles and a book, and she was like, I'm so sorry. She was like, I'm having this vision. She then like described this vision, which was my childhood bedroom or living room, sorry. Right down to like we had a couch with a very distinctive print on it. And it's like that was weird because she had no idea I was coming in that day. I just randomly decided I'm gonna go in. Like she and I was just like checking out like, and this was 8 years after I moved out of that house.
See, that's the shit that makes me believe, right? Like, that shit makes me believe. So if Mary Ann really is going to, like, readings and, like, giving information like that cannot be found on the internet and only, like, you know, that's the things that make me believe. And, like, I mean, if the police trust her, like she says, I mean, I couldn't fact check the
Yeah.
police thing. Like, if the police trust her and she's helped cases and stuff, like, that makes me believe as well. And apparently she's helped businesses too. Like, apparently she's gone into, like, businesses and there's been ghosts there and she's been like, this person, you got to watch out for them. They're potentially stealing money or whatever. No, when she does say, when she's like saying that to the bosses, she says, don't fire that person immediately. Like, the ghosts
Just
could be
research.
saying, yeah, exactly. Which I think too, she does give the caveat that ghosts don't have some sort of special knowledge and the ghosts could be lying to you. So when she's giving that caveat too to those people, it's like, hey, this ghost said this thing to me, but it might not be true. And that's something she'll always have in her back pocket as well, that makes it even more difficult to fact check or believe her. Like, she's saying, this is a thing, but also, it might not be a thing. It makes it all so
Yeah.
complicated to believe. And you know, at the end of the day, Marianne is the only one who can see these ghosts, right? If she really sees them, she's the only one who can see them. None of us can see them, so we have no real way to fact check her. Go ahead.
Now you said you thought about like getting a reading off of her.
Yeah,
How much does a reading cost?
I think it was like 100 and something. But you have,
That's not so bad.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, there are people out there who are like, especially like a person of her like fame, like being the real ghost whisperer, like $500 half hour.
right, exactly. With that name attached to her, like, she'll forever be the real Ghost Whisperer, which that was like a huge TV show. Like, she could use that, really take it to the bank, which I guess she is because it's like what she does for a living now and everything. But still, yeah,
No.
it's all very interesting. And when I first discovered her, when I was like in seventh, eighth grade, I found all of this very comforting, right? Because it is comforting to think like after you die, there is something and there is something waiting for you, and your loved ones are going to be there waiting for you, and they're okay and they're in the light and things like that. So it is very comforting to believe. But we also have to take it to the grain of salt, right? Because basing your life off the words of one person, we've studied so many cults and so many
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Basing your entire belief system in life off the words of one person is such a dangerous thing. So, I guess my moral and my takeaway is yes, it's comforting, and I want to believe it too. And we, at the end of the day, do have to take it with a grain of salt. How nice it would be to believe it and everything, and how beautiful it would be and everything. And who knows, maybe she does see them, and maybe all of this is the tea. And that's the best case scenario at this point, is what she's saying is the full truth, and that's actually what happens, is we get to go into this big, beautiful light, be with our family and everything. But we still have to be careful and be on our toes.
It's a lot to take in.
It is a lot to take in. And honestly, like, I'm the one who did the research for this, as you guys know. So I've had time to think and ponder. And, like, I mean, I first read that book in 8th grade. So I've had years and years of pondering this and things. And whatever you choose to believe, I completely get it. Because, like, isn't that, like, the main thing with religion, too? It's comfort at the end of the day. It's something comforting to believe. And at the end of the day, I mean, the beliefs are still beautiful and nice, and it's something nice. And you know what? If Mary Ann has brought comfort to people in her travels and done the thing, then is it that bad of a thing that if she's brought comfort to people, but has she brought not comfort to others? Let us know down below if she has, and if you find those negative reviews I was reaching out and couldn't find.
Is that all she wrote?
That's all I have. Do you have any
No,
final
I'm still
thoughts?
processing. It's going to take me a while to, like... I thought this episode was going to be a little more controversial.
Controversial. Well, it is kind of controversial because we're talking about, like, what actually happens after we die, right? And what she's
I think
saying.
that's controversial. I thought you were going to be like, there's this, and this. Like, these people calling her frauds. And, like, there's this, and this evidence.
I really did my damnedest to find that.
I know.
That's what I was looking for.
It's just kind of... I'm going to have to take some time to process. And when we get to the twinks and drinks for this, then maybe I'll have, like, more of a...
Yeah.
hold on it.
And maybe we'll be presented with new information by then, too.
Yeah. But
And
I mean, you've had a lot longer to sit with this information than I have.
Yeah, I've been reading and researching this. I mean, I started reading that book a month ago, well, rereading it, and I've been, like, all over the internet. I've been on Reddit. I've been, like, Googling things. I've Googled Mary Ann fraud, Mary Ann fake, Mary Ann bad reviews even. There are businesses, fucking big corporations, who do not have it locked down like that, which is insane. You Google McDonald's bad reviews, you get 30,000 bad reviews.
Right.
It's actually really insane that she has it locked down that tight. And also, like, it might also be that at the end of the day, she is well known, but also not really that well known. Because whenever you say her name to, like, random people, they're not going to know who she is. So it could be, too, that there just aren't really that many reviews about her. But also, she's the real fucking ghost whisperer. So, like, whatever. This is, yeah, it's crazy. And maybe we'll do, if new information is presented, maybe
we can do appendix.
An appendix, yes. Maybe one day we'll do a follow-up in appendix, and I'll retract everything I said, and I'm missing everything and whatnot. And again, like, I'm still on the fence of it. No matter what I say about, like, her not having bad reviews and, like, not really having that much contradictory evidence and everything, there still are those arguments, which I won't go back into them because it's everything I just said for the past 15 minutes of the arguments about these beliefs and taking it with a grain of salt. And yep, those are my thoughts as of now. They might change with new research, which, as with any good researcher or podcaster, your mind will and can change with new information.
And with that, please let us know your own thoughts. Please like, subscribe, and follow wherever you are listening to us. Connect with us on all of our social medias. And feel free to DM us if you have personal stories. Please share them with us via our email listed below. Paul, where can they find you?
You can find me at my personal Instagram and TikTok at Paulember, Paulember. And as usual, it's not delivery, It's DiGiorno.
And if you'd like to follow me, you can do so at The Real Teach Powers on TikTok and on Instagram. And just a reminder, we mentioned a little bit before, but every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we do go live on TikTok with Twinks and Drinks, which is like a little follow-up and a little more freehand live stream about last week's episode. And until next time, keep your crips tight.
And your corks loose. Bye.
I'm Melinda Gordon and I just shat in the corner.